Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a how to contour and highlight and also how to get this purpley magenta look. So if you want to see how I got it, go ahead and keep watching. Don't forget to subscribe down below and give this video a thumbs up. Okay, so I'm going to take my Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Light. So it really doesn't matter where you start, but I always start underneath my eye because I have a lot of darkness under there. And then you always want to take it right here whenever you want to contour your nose. So I take it right here and right under here. And I kind of make like a triangle. And that's going to really brighten up your under eye. And then I just stick a little on the top of my nose. And then right here. And this is gonna, you really want the majority of this like in the center of your face. And the reason why I kind of go out a little bit more is because this is gonna help whenever I bake. This is gonna help get rid of some of my lines because I have forehead lines. And then you want to take it down here, and then any like blemishes you have, you can kind of put a little bit there. And then right above your lip. And then I put it underneath my nostrils. Because anywhere I have like a lot of darkness, that's where I'm going to put it. So I kind of just go over it gently the first time. Kind of set it right where I want it. And then up here, where it gets really dark, kind of dab it. So it can kind of set in. Same thing with the nose. Just want to dab a little bit. And then up here, I kind of just blend. And then go back and do it again. And this way, it really lets it set in. Alright, and then to set our face, we're going to be using the Coty Airpsun Loose Face Powder in the original formula. And this is like what you use if you really want to just bake the out of your face. Okay, so I just take it on like a pointy beauty sponge like this. I'm going to go right underneath my eye and like lightly just press. And you want to leave it and don't like wipe away any powder yet. We're going to let it sit. So you kind of want to use like a lot. And this gets rid of a lot of darkness and lines and stuff like that. So you put this on anywhere you put concealer, just I don't put it on my nose because it makes it really dry. But you don't have to do everything I do. You'll kind of get in your own swing of things on how you want to contour. And I just put a little of this right here. And when I bake, these lines go away. And then right here, we're going to go take it just like that. And you want to get it on like the top of the line. And then like that as well. And you're going to take it right here. On the side of your nose and just go down. And we're going to do this again after we contour our nose. So like a little bit above this nostril right here. And then just leave that right there. And then I have pretty decently sized smile lines. So I'm just gonna put this right here. I'm gonna let that sit. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyebrows off camera and then I'll be right back. Okay guys, now that I have my eyebrows on, we're gonna go ahead and finish up our face. So you can take like any bronzer. I'm gonna use the Hoola Benefit bronzer, and I'm gonna take this Morphe fluffy brush, and then we're gonna just take it. So you want to take it right here. Bring it up to about right here. You don't want to go in this space right here. So what contouring and highlighting does basically is bring your face in, chiseling and making everything look pretty skinny. We're gonna go ahead and do this side. I'm gonna go up here. This basically just makes your forehead look smaller. I don't really have a huge forehead, but I just do a little bit. So if you have a pretty decent sized forehead, basically you want to kind of take it down over here, brighten this area right here, and it'll give the illusion of a smaller forehead. So I don't use a lot. I'm actually going to use my Morphe 06 PW contouring palette right here. And I'm going to go in with this shade right here. I'm going to darken this up a little bit. You see, it's not a lot. It's just kind of like a thin line. And then I'm going to take maybe like a smaller, more definer brush. Something like this. It's a little smaller than this one. Kind of enables you to carve. Okay, so we're going to take this middle ashy tone right here. The best way to do this is you want to do it on the hollows of your cheek. And if you don't know where that is, you can kind of do like a fish face. And follow that line up. But go kind of up when you do it, because you don't want like it to go all the way down here. And it's okay if it looks a little crazy right now. We're going to blend it out. So you have two ways to blend. This brush, the stippling brush from MUA Makeup Academy Professional at CVS. This is good for blending. So we're going to blend those two together. Or you can use this one. This isn't the best for blending. This is always my favorite, but if I don't have this brush with me, then I'll just use the bronzer brush. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to contour our chin. And I use this ashy tone right here. I'm not really a big fan of the bronzer one on my chin. And this, we're going to contour our chin. And then I do a little bit more right here to make it look like I have an indent right there. And we're going to do the other side. You can use any other brush you want, whatever works for you. These ones are the ones that work for me. Okay, so I'm going to go back into my Hoola bronzer and we're going to go ahead and contour our nose. I'm going to use like just a tad on the tip and we're going to go lightly. So you start right here in this indentation right here and you just kind of follow it down. So this is going to make your nose appear skinnier, like more slender and down to a point. Like I said before, you can kind of use this line that you've created with your powder. It really just depends on how skinny and slender you want your nose to look. But if you follow this line up here all the way down, that's really the best way to figure it out. So you want to start off lightly, you don't want to get too much, and you can always work your way up. It's better to have not enough than too much. Kind of bring it down. So now we're going to go back into our powder, back into this little Morphe sponge, and we're going to do the same thing we did before. You're going to go up to get the tip of it, and then you're kind of stamp it just right here on that edge. And then you're going to go right underneath that line. And bring it down. And do the same thing on this side. And this is really going to define that line and help when you're contouring your nose. Contouring, you really want everything to look super chiseled. Go ahead and clean up our contour on our cheeks. So you're going to do the same thing. So you're going to bring it up and then stamp it. And then you're going to go right underneath this line you've made and follow it down. And getting a sponge like this with a tip on it is so much easier to contour than doing it with this, like that little tip. I used to try and do it with this and it would work, but this is way better for carving out. Then we're gonna go ahead and do our other side. You don't wanna go too far down because you still have this right here that you don't wanna touch. And then we're gonna let that sit. Put a little bit on this brush right here because you don't wanna get, or just a big fluffy brush. And you're just gonna wanna wipe that away underneath your eyes. Try not to get your nose contour. Just because the ones under the eyes have been sitting there. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little bit more on my sponge and just kind of plop that like right here in the middle. Just to kind of highlight our forehead. I'm gonna take some of this RCMA No color powder. And then I also use the RCMA powder to clean up under my eyes when I have like fallout from eyeshadow. That's a really good one to create that line underneath. We're going to be using our Morphe Dare to Create 39A palette. I'm going to take this color right here. Okay, so we're going to dip into this purpley, kind of like a wine color. With color, like really bright colors, you always want to stay really low on the eye, and then you can always blend up. So we're just going to put this right in the crease. You want to kind of darken it up with this purple right here. Just stick that right here on the outer corner and blend up. And then kind of blend the tops of it out. And then you're just going to go over the top right here and blend out those edges. I'm going to take a little bit of that Tarte Shape Tape. Use this darker shade right here and go over that crease line. Like definer fluffy, if that makes sense. I'm gonna use that shade and then a little bit of the purple. And get right in there. And then we're gonna go back with this fluffy brush right here. Get a little bit of that transition shade, a little bit of that powder. And we're just gonna blend the tops of it. We're gonna take this definer brush. We're gonna go into this really, really dark purple right here. Maybe a hint of black. And we're gonna push this up against our waterline. Okay, and then we're gonna take this little Morphe brush, and then we're gonna take this magenta color right here. Just gonna blend out that line. We're gonna take this magenta color and maybe a little bit. And I don't go all the way to the corners of my eye. Doesn't matter if you kind of mess up or you get some fallout from the eyeshadow, because we're about to clean that up. Let's go ahead and clean this up. So I'm gonna use my RCMA No Color powder, but when you stamp down, only get like a thin line on the side. And go out and create that line, and then bring it down a little bit. Create that line and go down a little bit. Okay, so let's let this sit for maybe like 1 minute and then we'll wipe it off. Okay, so we're gonna take like a fluffy brush and we're just gonna wipe all this powder off. Excuse me, dust all this powder off. So let's go ahead and do blush. Take this little fluffy brush and this BH Cosmetics Floral Blush. When you do blush, you want to smile. It makes it easier to do it on the apples of your cheeks. And kind of blend that out. Okay, so for highlight, we're going to use our Flower Beauty Shimmer and Strobe palette. So we use this little fan brush. I'm going to go into this shade and a little bit of this one. Where we put our bronzer, we're just going to go right here. And work. Oh, so beautiful. So you want to highlight on the high points of your face. And you can kind of stop there, or you can go a little crazy like I do. And for our brow bone highlight, this little brush right here from Morphe. And I use the Jaclyn Hill palette. I use this shade right here. Do a little bit of that and a little tiny bit of the one next to it. And this is an amazing brow bone highlight. Okay, and then we're going to take a little bit of that, put it in our inner corner. So I use this for my nose highlight. So I just bring it down the center of my nose. And then I take my finger and just dot the tip of it. And use this. For my Cupid's bow. My last step of contouring, I always do the bottom of my lip. And you want to push up. And it plumps your lip up. Line my lips with the Ulta Beauty Lip Liner in the shade Rose. NYX Sliptease in the shade Red Queen. I'm gonna go over it with I Woke Up Like This by NYX. Okay guys, I'm gonna go ahead and do my mascara, maybe a little bit of an eyeliner, and then I'll be right back to finish this video. Okay guys, I'm all finished with my eyes. So I used the Charoltte Tilbury Rock and Koal in the corner of my eyes, and then I used a smudge brush to smudge it a little bit on. For mascara, I used the Dior Show and the They're Real by Benefit mascara. I did use a little bit of NYX Copenhagen, just a little bit, to give it a little bit more depth. Okay guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe down below and give this video a thumbs up. And I'll see you in my next video.